In the treasury of European history, few relics carry an aura as heavy as the Iron Crown of Lombardy. It is small in size, almost modest at first glance, yet it bears the weight of kingdoms and centuries of bloodshed. The Iron Crown dates back to the early Middle Ages, a time when Europe was fractured into warring realms. Empires had fallen, new powers were rising, and divine legitimacy meant everything. This crown emerged during that turbulent era, when faith and kingship were inseparable. It was not merely jewelry crafted for ceremony. It was an instrument of authority. For centuries, it was used to crown the kings of Italy. Whoever wore it did not simply rule land. They claimed a sacred mandate. Unlike towering golden crowns, the Iron Crown appears surprisingly small and intricate. It is composed of gold panels adorned with precious stones and vibrant enamel. Yet hidden inside its elegant structure lies something far more mysterious. A thin iron band is fixed within the crown's interior. That band is the source of its name, its legend. Tradition claims this iron strip was forged from a holy nail, a nail believed to have been used in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. According to medieval belief, Emperor Constantine's mother, Saint Helena, discovered the true cross and its nails in Jerusalem. One of those sacred nails was said to have been reforged into the crown's inner band. If true, this was not simply a royal object, it was a relic of divine suffering. To place it upon one's head was to bind kingship to Christ's sacrifice. Wearing the crown symbolized divine authority granted directly from heaven. It declared that the ruler stood not only above men, but under God. In a world driven by religious conviction, this symbolism was absolute power. The crown became central to Lombard identity after the Germanic Lombards conquered northern Italy. It represented their sovereignty over the region. When Charlemagne defeated the Lombards in 774, he did not discard the symbol. Instead, Charlemagne was crowned king of the Lombards with the Iron Crown. By doing so, he absorbed their legitimacy into his expanding empire. The act was both political and sacred. Charlemagne understood that ruling Italy required more than military victory, it required sacred symbolism. The crown transformed conquest into divine endorsement. For generations after, Holy Roman emperors sought the Iron Crown. It was part of the ritual confirming dominion over Italy. Without it, authority felt incomplete. Its reputation grew as both holy relic and political instrument. Yet questions about the Iron Band lingered even in medieval times. Was it truly from a holy nail, or was the story shaped to strengthen belief? Faith, however, rarely required proof. The power of the legend was often stronger than historical certainty. Centuries passed, but the crown remained central to European politics. Then came another ambitious ruler, Napoleon Bonaparte. In 1805, after proclaiming himself Emperor of the French, Napoleon turned his attention to Italy. In the Cathedral of Milan, he placed the Iron Crown upon his own head. He declared, "God has given it to me. Beware who touches it." The gesture echoed Charlemagne's ambition. Napoleon understood the symbolic gravity of the artifact. By crowning himself with it, He claimed continuity with ancient kings. He sought to anchor his modern empire in sacred tradition. But history has a pattern when it comes to powerful symbols. Many rulers who wore the Iron Crown faced war, rebellion, or downfall. The Lombards lost their kingdom. The Holy Roman Empire fractured over time. Napoleon's empire ultimately collapsed after devastating campaigns. Some whispered that the crown carried not only blessing, but burden, that divine authority demanded divine judgment. Whether curse or coincidence, its history is inseparable from conflict. The crown became less a promise of stability and more a witness to ambition. Through invasions, revolutions, and political transformation, it survived. Italy eventually unified in the 19th century. Monarchies across Europe weakened or disappeared. Yet the Iron Crown endured as a relic of a vanished era. Scientific examinations in modern times studied its materials. Some findings suggested the inner band may not be pure iron after all. Debate continues among historians and metallurgists, but the legend of the Holy Nail remains deeply rooted in cultural memory. Today, the crown is preserved in Monza, Italy. It rests within the Cathedral of Monza, carefully protected behind glass. No longer placed upon the heads of kings, no longer invoked in coronation ceremonies. Instead, it stands as a silent relic of medieval belief. Visitors gaze upon it, often surprised by its modest size. Yet its physical scale contrasts sharply with its historical magnitude. It once connected rulers to heaven. It once transformed ambition into sacred destiny. It once crowned conquerors who reshaped Europe. Now, it remains still untouched by modern power. The Iron Crown of Lombardy embodies the fusion of faith and authority. It reminds us that symbols can elevate rulers to mythic status. And it reveals how even the most sacred objects cannot prevent human downfall. In quiet preservation at Monza, the Iron Crown endures an eternal witness to divine claims, imperial ambition, and the fragile fate of kings.